so our last speaker of the morning session will be Heng Li, and he's going to tell us about modeling gene trees with context-free grammar. Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Heng Li from Wellcome Sanger Institute, and I'm going to talk about modeling gene trees with context-free grammar. The motivation of this study is to increase the accuracy of tree building for the gene trees. And the conventional method for building gene trees is purely from multi-sequence alignment. And I'm going to show how to combine this with the species phylogeny. This idea is not new, but the method I'm going to use is kind of new. It is context-free grammar. And in particular, I'm going to show two applications of this model. The first one is the weighted context-free grammar for tree merge, and the second is stochastic context-free grammar for gene evolution. And so first, what is the context-free grammar? Context-free grammar is a transformational grammar. And in computer science, a transformational grammar generates strings or languages from a set of rules. And here's an example. Well, here's an example that generates palindrome languages. First, this is a symbol, and from this symbol can be transformed to this SS or ASA or BSB or AA or BB. And from these rules, we can generate a string like this, BAA, BB, AAB. This is actually an arrow, but okay. This S can be transformed to BSB, and this S using this rule can be transformed to ASA, and this as again ASA, and this as using this rule to BB, and finally we got this. This process is called a derivation, and this is another derivation that can derive, this string can be derived. And so how this can be related to a tree? Well, this is another set of rules. This means A can be transformed to AB and B to AC or AE. And from these rules, we can get this derivation, that is D to CE to BD. And this string, you look like this. This string looks pretty much like a New Hampshire string. And we can see it closely. First, we get this D. And from D, we get CE. And from C, BD. And so on, and so on. Basically, this is the tree described by this string. Here's another derivation. We got this string. We got this string and correspond to this tree. From this example, we see that there's a natural link between the context-free grammar and the phylogenetic tree. And actually, in computer science, they call this tree a path tree. But in this talk, I will only use this term derivation to avoid some confusions. In the palindrome example, we see that a string can be derived in several ways. But which one is preferred? And first, we have to assign a weight or probability to each rule. And after this assigned, we get an extension to context-free grammar. It's called weighted CFG and stochastic CFG. Actually, stochastic context-free grammar is an extension to hidden Markov model, which means all the things that can be modeled by HMM can also be modeled by SCFG. And also, the algorithms between the two models are also similar. For example, you can use CYK algorithm to find the optimum derivation, and inside algorithm to calculate the probability of the observation. And also, you can do EM parameterized explanation. And so, come to the first application, tree merge weighted context-free grammar. For tree merge problem, the tree merge problem is to merge several trees into an optimal tree. And the optimum, in practice, the optimum can mean fewer duplications or losses, or the higher overall bootstrap support. We first see an example. Here are two trees, two gene trees. This one and this one. This means gene, means red gene, mouse gene 1, mouse gene 2. human chick. The red node shows the duplication nodes. You can see here, red mouse, and here another mouse. This is the duplication. And the red dashed line shows the gene losses. We can infer the duplications and gene losses with the standard tree reconciliation algorithm. I not show too much. And from these two trees, we get these rules. Wow. Anyway, for example, this rules means A can be transformed to red and mouse 1. And you see here, A, red, mouse 1. And B can be transformed to A, mouse 2, or red and E. The B appears twice in both trees because the leaf descended from these nodes is the same. You see this B. And so it happened to this, the root node D. And here is the weight, means that is T. And in this example, we simply take the sum of duplication and losses. The smaller, the better. And for example, for this rule, B to A, this is duplication, this loss, 1 duplication, 1 loss, the sum is 2. From these rules, we can generate these trees. And so this is the derivation. And here we got this tree. The weight of this tree is 6 because here we use the green rule, it is 3, and the red rule is 2, and use the F rule, it is 1, and the sum of them is 6. Basically, it is the sum of duplication 2 and losses 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the other, is another derivation. There's only 1 duplicated node. And so the tree merge algorithm actually take the input are 2 trees, and the output is 1 tree that maximizes the weight. In this example, we actually transpose all the possible trees that can be generated from these rules. But in practice, we can't do so because there are maybe too many trees to traverse. And in practice, we solve this problem. That is, given a set of rules to find the optimum derivation, we can use top-down CYK algorithm. This is first defined by these 3 people. And roughly speaking, define gamma weight as the sum of the weights up to the state of weight. And T means the weight. And basically, it's just a simple, very simple recursive form. And this algorithm is linear to the number of nodes in all the input trees. This is the top-down CYK. Important thing to note is that the weight had to be calculated independently, which means a weight must be calculated based on 1 rule, but independent of others. This is important. And this limitation makes it impossible to use rules to use weights such as maximum likelihood or maximum parsimony. But the possible ones are the bootstrap values, because bootstrap value can be calculated in this way, and the number of duplication and losses. And in practice, found this is good enough. Now we come to the second application, the taxonomy. I call it taxonomy stochastic CFG. Basically, the taxonomy counterferrogramma provides a model that generates gene trees from a single species tree. It is actually generate, you can use this taxon SFG to calculate the probability of a gene tree. And it also provides an alternative method to infer gene duplication and gene losses. I give another word about tree reconciliation. Tree reconciliation, roughly speaking, a tree reconciliation is a consistent assignment of duplications and speciation nodes on the gene tree. Let's see an example. Wow. All the arrows are gone. This is a species tree, human, mouse, chicken. Usually is the last common ancestor of these 2 genes, of these 2 species. It is E and it is M mutant A. From this species tree, we can generate all the rules. This A, E, H, and C. This rule, A to AA, means a species means a gene duplication, and this A to E, C means a speciation, and this epsilon means no state, means nothing, and this indicates a gene loss. And here, this is the internal node, and this is the external node. Basically, this is a gene of human. Yes. From all these rules, we can generate this gene tree. This means human gene 1, mouse gene 1, mouse gene 2, mouse gene 3, and mouse gene, chicken gene 1. And basically, it's just use the duplication and you use those rules, we can generate this tree. And for the same gene tree, we can also generate that tree in another derivation, actually, and which represents another reconciliation. But the tree topology is the same. And so there are several ways we can generate this gene tree, but which one is better? And we have to define probability to each. If W is an internal node, basically if duplication, speciation, and gene loss, we have this probability. PD, this PD means duplication probability, and PL, the loss probability, and so it is same. From this, we can, and if we use the same PD and PL across the whole species tree, we can calculate, we'll prove this probability. That G means gene tree, pi means a derivation or a tree reconciliation, and S means species tree. We can calculate this. And ND, number of duplications, and L, number of losses. M is the number of leaves in the species tree, and N is the number of leaves in the gene tree. And we can further prove that the maximum, the most probable derivation, this pi star, corresponds to the most parsimonious tree reconciliation. We can prove that. In principle, we can also calculate, in theory, we can also calculate this G given on S. But the problem is that no states. In context-free grammar theory, we can't apply inside, outside, apply those algorithms if there is a null state. And an improvement to the previous one is like this. Basically, we remove the null states, and this represents a gene loss and duplication speciation. And with this alternative model, we can apply the inside algorithm to calculate PG given S, and we can also do the parameter estimation for all these parameters. And these parameters can be different for different nodes. But unfortunately, this model hasn't been implemented. But what I have implemented, basically, in my program, I implemented two things. The first thing is the species, I call this species-aware maximum likelihood. Basically, it found the gene tree G star that maximizes this probability. G gene tree, X means the multiple sequence alignment, and S the species tree. The details is, first, I calculate this probability given the multiple sequence alignment and the tree. This probability is calculated by FIMO, by ML, and infer the pi star, the parsimonious tree reconciliation with the standard algorithm. And we maximize this probability with FIMO type search. Basically, I just integrate my code with FIMO. It is a modified FIMO. And for tree merge, I actually merge 5 trees: the neighbor joining synonymous tree, neighbor joining non-synonymous tree, neighbor joining p-distance, 5ML HKY model, and WG model. For the moment, the software is called NGTree. It is not a good name, but this is the current software name. And it is widely used in TreeFam and Ensemble Compara. And in both cases, we are talking about 20,000 gene families. And each gene tree may have several hundred leaves, which means this program has to be fast enough, and it is. And at last, I will show some evaluation on this new algorithm. The data sets are about 200 curated gene trees from TreeFam. And these gene trees contain more than 8,000 leaves. And also the genes from vertebrates, many from vertebrates, and some from worms, insects, and Arabidopsis, and 2 yeasts. The criteria I use is the number of duplications and losses. And the fewer the better. This is based on the assumption that the duplication and losses are rare. For one tree, for one gene tree, this might not stand. But for 200 gene trees, and basically, this criteria is a good thing, I think. And actually, it is also independent of the other measurement. The last slide shows this is the type of tree and number of duplication, number of losses, the neighbor joining from the WAG model, and so on. The black ones are the conventional method. That is, you can use the existing software to build these trees. And the colored ones, the blue or red, are the trees derived from my program. And this one is the default one used in my program. It is resulting in about 1,500 duplication and 30,000 losses, much smaller than the black numbers. And for this, I also highlighted this one because this tree is built by merge neighbor joining synonymous distance tree and neighbor joining non-synonymous distance tree. This is quite fast, and it is relatively accurate, at least more accurate than the black numbers. And I use this tree to do bootstrapping because the bootstrapping is usually very slow. And in TreeFam and EMBO, we might consider the speed. And we build the tree topology with this one and estimate the bootstrap values with this one. It's very fast. By the way, I thank my supervisor, Richard Durbin, and also the people in the Richard Durbin research group, and also I thank Wellcome and Jian. Thank you.
Sorry, but I didn't really understand how you build your grammar. Do you have fixed grammar to start with, and then you have to assign the weights to derivation so as to optimize the solution to your problem, or do you have to build both? So the grammar and the weights for the derivation?
First, I generate the rules from the inputs, and for the tree mode, I generate rules from the several trees, and for the Texas SFG, I generate rules from the species tree. And the weights are also calculated. I mean, it's actually predefined, the weights and probability. But you can also estimate those probability with the inside-outside algorithm. That is the EM estimation.
So, what does the CYK algorithm do?
Given a set of rules, it found the optimum derivation from these rules.
Have you tried to build networks with context feedback?
Haven't yet.
You intend to?
I think it will be difficult because there is some constraint on this context-free grammar, and I think to build a network, we need context-sensitive grammar, and it is much difficult. And all the problems have to be solved. It is NP hard, basically. I believe it's quite hard.
As I understand, to merge the tree, you extract a set of rules from every input tree to build a big set of rules.
Yeah.
But as I have the feeling that the order by which you apply the rules to generate the resulting tree may play a decisive role on the resulting tree. So, do you produce the resulting tree by which order of the set of rules?
It is, I think the order of the, you apply those rules are irrelevant. I mean, you can apply it in every order, but the result is exactly the same.
Same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the rules are applied independently, and that is why I require that weights can be calculated just from one rule. You can't, I mean, this weight is independent of other rules.
I have the feeling that the tree will be different.
It will be same.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
Okay then. So I'd like to thank you and all of the speakers this morning.